Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos, hoping that you're doing well today on a 26th day of June 2019. And that's a big day in my life. And of course, as we head through June, we're on our way to July. Guy came up to me this morning and says, "Hey, you going to take the 4th off?" I said, "When is the 4th?" Well, the 4th is next Thursday. And hey, we've got that's when most every civilized person tries to take off the 4th of July. Remember the giant. Good morning, you're on Today in LA. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
I was talking this morning to some people that the 4th of July is just around the corner, so gonna be a busy day down in your part of the country.
Yeah, Green Beach has a little 4th of July parade for all the people that live down here and their kids and family. And then the biggest thing they do down here is the regatta, where all the sailboats go out off the shore of Grayton Beach to Seagrove. It's called the Rags to Riches Regatta. It's been going on since I think the late 70s down here. Apparently Grayton was considered the rags, and the riches were considered Seagrove. There'll be a little sailboat race down to Seagrove and back to Grayton, and a lot of fun to see all the pretty sails on the different little sailboats, and fun to go watch them with the kids. So I'm excited about that. And then the parade's fun. The kids can actually be in the parade down here, and then of course,
it'd be a good time for you to invite Mom and Daddy down.
If you want to be with the real yuppies and you want to be in the traffic, you can go up to Seaside, and they have a pretty big 4th of July parade.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, Troy.
We'll have the barge that goes out into the Gulf of Mexico that will also have a huge fireworks display, which is always pretty fun to watch.
Well, you know, there's some areas down there where you can watch Grayton, you watch Seaside, you can watch Panama City Beach. You can watch 4 or 5 different fireworks going on at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure that week we'll make a lot of grocery runs and pretty much be staying home other than just walking places, because crowds will be pretty tremendous.
Yeah, no question about it.
I think the high down there today is 94, so that's the hottest it's been by far since I've been living down here.
Yeah, and it's going to be hotter than that here. It's really been tough, and in fact,
I'm already feeling for these football players, and it's still in June. I can't imagine July and August.
Oh yeah, no question. And of course, usually now they take the 4th of July off. Usually most coaching staffs.
I would hope so. That seems like the right thing to do.
Well, I mean, one thing, take that week off, and then when they come back, everybody's loaded and ready to go. And gosh, I always looked at it that way. After the 4th of July, it's ready for time's ready for football. I probably pay more attention to football before the season, as far as going to practices and getting all fired up before the season, than I do during the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of build-up. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I think I really get excited when I can go watch practice. I think that's when I'm always, the most excited, especially when you live in Troy and living so close to the university. You can just go there and watch them practice anytime you want to.
No question about it. We've got Brent Jones coming on our show today, the new athletic director at Troy. So
yeah, looks like there's going to be some movement in the American Athletic Conference. Connecticut has announced that they are leaving that conference, so that's going to open up a football spot. And that's a really good conference. A lot of people say it's the best of the non-Power Fives.
Yeah.
And UAB could be transitioning out of Conference USA into the American Athletic, because they have a lot of natural rivals. They have Houston, and they have Memphis and Cincinnati, all big basketball rivals.
I tell you what, that would be huge. That would be huge for UAB, I would think.
Of course, you have South Florida and Central Florida as well, so really good league. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. I would think they'd want that Birmingham market, though.
Oh, boy, they'd love it. They'd love it. And this is big news, Mike.
So then you got Conference USA having a spot open, and then does Conference USA come get South Alabama? So you basically don't lose a member of the. I mean, you basically stay in the same state, but just have a different university.
You know what? That could very easily happen, and that I think that would hurt Troy a little bit, don't you think?
Well, I mean, Troy just doesn't have the market. I don't think you'll ever see Troy. I mean, you might could see them on down the road if the Conference USA had several teams leave that Troy might could get in Conference USA. But other than that, I wouldn't see Troy being out of the Sun Belt anytime soon.
All right, the American Conference, if that's what happens. And this is going to kill UConn. Well, what are they going to do?
Well, you know, it's just a joke. You know, the women's basketball program is 120 since they joined 120-0 since they joined the conference.
Yeah.
So, and then the men's basketball program is really good, but it's the Big East. You know, they would go back and play St. John's. They played Villanova. You know, they played the league. They played in for years and years.
So UConn will go into the Big East?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they'll be all right then. Looking at the American Conference, you got Cincinnati, you've got East Carolina, Houston, Memphis, SMU, South Florida, Navy, Temple, Tulane, Tulsa, UCF, that's Central Florida, Maryland, wait a minute, and that's it. So if UAB could get into there, they would be in the market now with Cincinnati, Memphis, the Dallas market with SMU, South Florida would
hard to
be the
believe
Tampa
Tulane
market.
made it in that market. Still, they would have stayed in Conference USA, but I guess they got enough money down there they're able to get in that league.
Who is that? Houston?
Tulane.
Yeah. What conference is Houston? No, they're in this American Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Temple's been good in football. Of course, Temple's always been good in basketball.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that would be a big boost for UAB if they could pull that off.
Yeah. Apparently, the biggest hurdle is the board of trustees, and apparently they're supporting the move. So that would be good.
Exactly right, and of course, then going back.
Also, would be good for Bill Clark because the majority of coaches that get hired usually come out of that league.
Yeah. Oh, really? Well, and then now you look back to Conference USA. And how in the world Charlotte got in there, I don't know, but
it's the market, man.
Yeah, the multi-million-dollar market. You're right. Florida International got in that league, and Florida
Miami.
And they don't draw. Neither one of those guys draw.
You got Florida Atlantic.
Louisiana Tech's a pretty good one, and then you got Marshall.
Then you got Southern Miss. Of course, they've been in there for years.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big conference, this Conference USA.
I mean, look at the Sun Belt. I mean, out of all the schools in the Sun Belt, who else would you go get other than go get South Alabama in that Mobile market? I don't know another school in the Sun Belt you would even think about.
Yeah. Appalachian State would be,
but they're in the mountains.
Yeah, that's right.
Georgia Southern. I mean, I don't know. Is Lafayette, Louisiana a big market?
Texas State actually is a big market. I don't think they draw that much, but that's the San Antonio, Austin market, wouldn't that be the market that would be in?
Yeah. I mean, the no-brainer to me would be South Alabama, because soon they got a new football stadium that's going to be ready another year. Yeah. You get the Mobile market. You're already in the state of Alabama as far as divisions. So that seems like where you would go.
Who'll try to get in there would be Liberty. Wouldn't you think they'd try to get in there?
In the Conference USA?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on, the divisions, how that would work out.
Right now, they're not in a conference.
I'm not sure if UAB's in the East or the West of Conference USA, but I would think that you could still just keep South Alabama in there.
Yeah.
That would be what I would think would happen.
What? All right, tell us what that would be.
Because you also got a natural rival, with Southern Miss and Mobile being so close. Were they an hour and a half?
Yeah, that's right. Not even that far. Yeah, about that, maybe an hour and a half. You're right. That's what could be happening. Well, we're going to have the AD on our show in just a few moments. And
of course, Vanderbilt survived last night. I tell you, the SEC, if they would have got swept by Michigan, would be the shock of the century. But Camille Rocker pitched great again, struck out 11.
Did he? Was he tough?
Gave up one run and I think 3 hits, and I think went into the 7th inning. But Vandy brought in a reliever because, I think his kind of get a little arm fatigue the way he's pitched so much in the last few weeks.
What does he throw? Did he throw 95? How fast
He's
is
about
it?
96, 97, but he's got an unbelievable breaking ball.
Yeah.
And
Does he have a good changeup?
yeah, he can really spin it.
So he'll probably find, don't you think?
He's the life for Vanderbilt. I tell you what, they're like a bunch of robots out there. There's not a whole lot of motion. And they got several guys that were drafted off that team, and a couple of first-round picks, and they don't play with a whole lot of Michigan. I mean, Michigan's just like there with house money. They're excited, jumping up and down. And,
yeah, oh yeah.
And Michigan will play tonight. And Vandy and them will play again tonight for the championship. But Rocker pitching last night definitely won them that game. I mean, he was lights out.
What was the final score in that game, Mike? Do you know?
4-1. But I was telling my wife last night, can you imagine being a parent of one of these kids from Vanderbilt or Michigan? So they started playing not this past Saturday, but last Saturday.
Yeah.
So tonight, that will be 11 nights at least that they've been in Omaha for this College World Series.
Oh,
I mean, can you imagine how much money that probably costs the family?
Oh, you're exactly right. And
I'm sure they give us some decent rates, but I mean, my goodness, I mean, say you an average hotel room, $100.
Yeah, but they gladly play that though. You pay that because
I'm sure they do, but still though, man, that's kind of crazy to have to pay that much money for that long.
No question about it, and I think it's too long. I've always felt like that thing's 2 weeks long, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you win the series, win your division side, and then you got to play another 3-game series after that. So that's what's happening in this.
Exactly right. Of course, we're expecting our AD to be with us in just a few moments. Brent Jones, who is new on the job, and we're excited about having him on our show today. Of course, we want to mention our good friends at Lawrence Hardware, Mike. And boy, wasn't that a good interview yesterday with that young man?
That was a good interview with J.B. Roberts. I mean, he definitely is a guy that I've known for a long time as a good guy, and seems like he's a guy that loves the Lord and loves what he does with Lawrence Hardware, and kind of gave his testimony as well yesterday. So I mean,
and he's going to be a good addition to our show.
Hopefully his business will get a lot of local support. Buy local and help him build that business back up to where it used to be.
Of course, he's got ties all over Crenshaw County and all over Pike County. And you were saying something, and I want you to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. You thought that this guy at one time would make it big time in Nashville, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, he went to Nashville, and I think I know he recorded a few CDs. I mean, he was a talented musician. I mean, wrote his own music, had his own songs. I mean, had his own following. I mean, he was as popular as you could get, from what I remember.
Now he's playing Christian music and gospel music, and we're gonna bring him on our show periodically.
He's doing that now, but he was more of a Dave Matthews kind of guy back when I used to hear him play. So I mean, he had a huge following, and every time he'd play anywhere, it'd sell out.
Yeah, down at the beach even, is that right?
Yeah, I've seen him play down here, and I mean, it's one of those things where it was good to talk to him. I hadn't talked to him in a while, but definitely enjoyed his music back in the day. And Troy's always had talented people, as far as music growing up in college, especially in a college town. You always had guys that are really good at music. Yeah,
and of course, y'all would drive. I mean, you still have friends that will get in a plane and fly out to Los Angeles.
I got friends that will fly all over the country to go see shows.
And then these guys are 40 years old now and still love that music.
These guys got kids and been married for several years, but they just love the music. That's just some people like.
What were some of the back?
Some people like going to football games, and some people like going to concerts.
Yeah. Well, during the heyday, which band was it that everybody liked so much? Grateful Dead.
A lot of people like a band called Fish, which is Phish.
Is Fish still around?
A lot of fans were big fans of a band out of Athens, Georgia, called Widespread Panic.
Widespread Panic.
And then I was a big fan of all those bands, but I'm a big Grateful Dead fan. And of course, their lead singer Jerry Garcia died in 1995, so. Yeah. The remaining members had bands that we used to go see, and then I was a big Allman Brothers fan. Of course, the Allman Brothers were out of Macon, Georgia. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't realize the Allman Brothers played Troy at Sartain Hall in 1977.
I didn't know that. Well, and
but I mean, you know, you got different people like different bands. You know, some people like to go see Jimmy Buffett. You know,
yeah,
I mean,
that's right. They sure do.
you know, some people like to go see Bruce Springsteen. You know, some of my best friends have gone to Bruce Springsteen concerts and say that's the best concert they've ever been in their life. You know, he plays like 3 hours straight.
Does he really?
Yeah. I mean, I went and saw Willie Nelson one night at the Alabama Theater. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen. I mean, I like all kinds of music. Always have.
How good is this Young Park band from Troy? Are they?
They're good. I don't know if they're just a cover band though, or if they play that own original music. You know, I mean, if you're a true band, you play your own originals, in my opinion. But I mean, you know, you can make a big living playing covers as well.
They're probably one of the top college bands out there right now. And of course, they hail from right here in Troy. And in fact, Young Park was on our show when he was in the 9th grade. And you know,
before they're really talented. I know they've been playing together a long time.
Yeah.
When I lived in Tuscaloosa, I used to hear them up in Tuscaloosa every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they go to Tuscaloosa and Auburn quite a bit, and they're of course very well known, and they're great guys. They're just great young men, and that's the thing about it. They're not one of these bands that get out of hand sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite bands is out of the 38 Florida Panhandle, the bluegrass band Drake Clampett. Now they've been a successful bluegrass band for 18, 19 years. You know, they've been writing music and numerous CDs and stuff like that. And you know, they're the house band at the Red Bar. On Sundays at lunch and then at night. So they're hugely successful.
Now, what was that guy? What was the name of that band?
Drake Clampett. You've heard them before. Campbells.
Yeah, I really like them. And
you've heard them during John and Virginia's wedding party out there.
And then, of course, like you said, on Sundays, they used to be real big.
They pack the house, and then they'll have sometimes they'll have a Academy Award, not Academy, Grammy Award winning bluegrass singer Sam Bush, who is widely respected as one of the greatest mandolin players ever to live.
Yeah.
And has won countless bluegrass.
Well, you know who else is a big mandolin guy, don't you?
He'll go and play with them. So that tells you how much he thinks of them.
All right, you talk about that mandolin. You know who else is big in the mandolin? He lives on North 39th Street. Are you familiar with him?
Who's that?
He's probably one of the top mandolin players. He has a framery shop.
Okay.
You don't know him?
No, I don't know that, but that'd be the Fraley's. Who's
Fraley, Dan Fraley was a big mandolin player for years.
Yeah, well, mandolins, that's one of my favorite instruments. I know it's not easy to play, but it's definitely prevalent in bluegrass bands.
Yeah. Mike, have you ever heard?
Music to me is something I've always. I mean, I guess I had friends, me and Neil Green DeShera, Richard Calhoun, John Reeves, Blake Crow. I mean, we just always loved music, so that was one of the things we got into at a young age is wanting to go to concerts and stuff like that.
Exactly, but I didn't like some of those logos y'all used. I didn't like some of them.
Well, I mean, it was just Grateful Dead. I mean, that's just, what you had a problem with.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where...
I know this. Every time you put that sticker on that car, I was ready to yank it off.
But I've gotten into all kinds of music over the years. We like a little bit of everything, my wife and I. My wife's probably, bigger into music than I am.
Well, let me tell you this. I love 50s and 60s music, and on July the 26th and 27th, we're bringing Reunion 2019, and of course, the featuring the classes of 1953 all the way through 1973. And it's been a very popular event the last 3 years, and we're looking forward to another big event this year. And of course, again, it's going to be at the Troy Country Club, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do y'all have the Fabulous Shades? Do y'all ever have anybody else play it, or y'all just do
we do the Shades, the Fabulous Shades. That's John Key's band, and it's one of the top 50s and 60s bands around these parts. And they're older guys, but they play probably better than they ever have. And they'll be
my wedding down at Watercolor.
Sure did.
I've been married 4.5 years.
They took over Watercolor, didn't they?
I'll tell you what, that's a nice venue they got to play at, and I'm sure they enjoyed the food. Everybody still tells me today the Fish Out of Water who catered Our food at the wedding was the best wedding food they'd ever
Well,
had.
I tell you paid for it too.
I think my mother-in-law was nice enough to pay for it.
Well, let me tell you this. There's a new shoe out, Mike, called Love to Run. Have you ever seen it?
I have not.
It's a new shoe that.
I need to learn how to love to run again in life.
It says just in the.
I'm happy if I can just walk.
And it's a where you actually order it from a address on Westgate Parkway, and it's the name of a store called Love to Run, and they're excited about their opening. I want to mention Baltimore's first round draft pick, Adley Rushman, Mike, has already put on a show at batting practice prior to the Padres game. And let's see here, we got a call coming in here. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing? Yes, are you coming in? All right, great deal. Looking forward to it, friend. Thank you. And then our guest will be here at 7:40, and also we're looking for Max Howell to call in this morning too. So we'll be.
Tough news on the injury front for former Alabama first-round pick. Of course, he was a starter for 3 straight years at Alabama. Cincinnati Bengals first-round pick Jonah Williams has had surgery for a torn labrum. So Jonah Williams, who Cincinnati spent a lot of money on as a first-round pick, is out for the whole first year.
Oh, man.
His rookie season. Not the first time this happened with an Alabama athlete. Of course, a lot of people think Alabama players play with injuries. A lot of people think Alabama players, are damaged goods once they make it to the pros because they play so hard during college. Of course, there's no proven facts. There's just, so many guys that get drafted that this happens, unfortunately. And, Jonah Williams, I've heard him in interviews, seems like a great kid, and hated for him. He's from California originally, but hopefully he'll be back and can contribute the next year for the Bengals.
The labrum is a lot of this is working out with weights maybe too hard.
This is just a practice injury. Just one of those things that's just unfortunate. Just like Reuben Foster was just running through drills and stepped on some guy's foot.
Oh, yeah.
A month and a half ago, and he's out for the season. I mean, it just happens.
Reuben Foster is an accident fixing to happen, isn't he?
Well, hopefully being with the Redskins, and there's 8 former Alabama players on that team, there's a situation where, hopefully he'll grow up. It's really just a kid that lacks maturity and has made horrible decisions, and hopefully he can turn his life around, you hope. It's one of those type things that first round, talent, and unfortunately he's made horrible decisions off the field, and I don't know how many chances you can get. Get 2, you get 3. So I would imagine that's probably about it. If he messes up again, he's going to be just like Rolando McClain, Alabama linebacker out of Decatur, no longer plays football anymore.
Yeah, exactly right. Mike, they were talking about this number 1 pick from Baltimore. His name is Andy Rushman. He's a switch hitting catcher. Have you ever heard of that? He was in college at Oregon State. He was a switch hitting catcher that his signing bonus with the bonus and everything, he got $8.1 million signing bonus, the largest ever provided to a major league draft pick. And that's something.
I know catchers are a big commodity in Major League Baseball. That's pretty much a coach on the field, and of course, you got to be able to call a game, and anytime you can find a hidden catcher as well, that's a rare feat.
Well, this guy must be everything, and they said they brought him in just to take batting practice prior to the game with San Diego Padres, and they said he just left everybody just could not believe the power that he had, a Mickey Mantle type power from both sides of the plate. A left-handed switch hitting, a switch hitting catcher. How many times you hear about that?
Not much. I'm trying to even think of who's been switch hitting catchers.
That's right. People don't think about switch hitters like they used to. Mickey Mantle, of course, was a great switch hitter, and Baltimore had a great switch hitter.
Eddie Murray was great. And Chipper Jones was great.
Chipper Jones was great. Mantle was so good that they would throw they would throw right-handers at him, just hoping he would bat left-handed because he was so powerful right-handed. especially against left-handed pitching. And your people, teams would rotate their whole staff because of his power, At certain,
another interesting story, Asa Martin, a lot of people remember he was Mr. Football in the state of Alabama at Decatur, so he signs with Auburn, doesn't play a whole lot, but for some crazy reason, I guess we could ask Chip Lindsey, that his red shirt got burned. He played in 4 games by accident. The Gus Malzahn, when they interviewed him, said that he had no clue that he didn't play 4 games, so now they couldn't redshirt him, so now basically he's a sophomore at Auburn. So he gets fed up, his mom gets fed up, he ends up transferring out of Auburn to Miami. So I guess he thinks he's going to play for Mark Richt in Miami. Next thing you know, they got Manny Diaz taking over for Mark Richt when Mark Richt resigned. Now Asa Martin, within a few more months, is in the transfer portal again. So this kid just doesn't know where he wants to be, unfortunately. Of course, he was a great running back, Mr. Football in the state of Alabama. So now this kid will be going somewhere else to try to play running back.
Now, would he be able to play right now, or is he?
I would imagine he'll play redshirt, I would think, if he's going to transfer out this late. I would think.
And he was actually going to Auburn at one time.
He was at Auburn. That's what I was explaining. Auburn misused him in games.
Yeah.
He was wanting a red shirt, and they accidentally put him in a 4th game. So when he played in that 4th game, they no longer could redshirt him, so he just burned a year. He wasted a year.
Oh boy, isn't that a shame?
And his parents were furious, saying, you're barely using him. Why did you waste him in that 4th game? Now he can't redshirt. So
yeah, it's almost like they knew. It was almost like they knew he was going to do it. Don't you think?
I don't know, but basically after that, the parents got upset, and he transferred out of Auburn to Miami. So this guy will be a sophomore wherever he winds up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is something.
I mean, who knows? Him and Chip Lindsey might have had a good relationship. I don't know.
That's right.
Maybe he winds up in Troy.
Wouldn't that be something? No question about it.
I mean, it's one of those situations. This transfer portal, though, it's great for somebody like a Jalen Hurts who graduated college.
Yeah, you're right.
Can go transfer out and play, immediately somewhere. That's where the rule's great. But all these other guys, Troy's run into it. It's just one of those things. Like, I don't know if the rules is going about it the way I think they intended it to be.
Yeah.
Now everybody can transfer out.
Of course, the kid from Enterprise, defensive back kick returner that left Troy to go to Houston.
Yeah, that's still a strange situation. I don't know if there was any kind of relationship on coaches there or players there. I know Houston's a huge, what is it, 8, 9 million, 10 million people?
It's 4th largest city in America.
You're going from 20,000 to about 10 million.
He's going from not being able to hide to a place where he goes to a place where he can hide. I reckon that's
now, John Folsom. We had heard rumors from coaches from the previous staff that he had some issues, as far as off the field stuff and on the field stuff with coaches, and he was a senior and I think just looking to leave. And don't get me wrong, a great player. I wish we still had him. He led the team in tackles 2 straight years, but he's at Colorado State.
Yeah.
Now Mike Bobo's out there, and then some other guys are out there.
It's the place where football gets its first snow every year. Have you ever noticed that about that place?
And their big matchup is against Colorado to start the season.
And then it starts snowing out there.
Still seeing Sawyer Smith still on the Kentucky roster, so I don't think Sawyer Smith's not out of Kentucky like you're
He's at that fell through. There were some people trying.
You said that fell through, but he's still on the Kentucky roster. So how's that possible?
That's what I'm saying. He's at Kentucky now.
I know, but so it worked out. You're saying?
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a.
I thought you said it didn't work out.
There was if a coach was on a staff that was recruiting him, he couldn't go to that place. Something like that. And
I thought maybe it was on his Summerall. It was on the staff when Troy recruited him, and then he ended up, going to, coach at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And now Sawyer Smith's at Kentucky. I didn't know there was something to do with that.
I hate that Sawyer Smith left, but I'm happy for him. I'll root for him.
He'll have an also chance to play because the quarterback they got at Kentucky, let him to 10 wins, but he can't throw the ball at all. He's just a great runner, great great athlete.
Well, let me tell you something about Sawyer. Now he's hard nosed. He's a big, strong guy, and if you get in he's not a finesse quarterback. He's one of these guys that can run the football and throw the football. He gives them a pretty good football player that they can count on as a backup.
And a really good deep ball.
Yeah, no question about it. And I'm for him. And
he did in the ball game. He threw for 340 yards.
Yeah. And I'm for the kid that went to Houston, even though, of course, he's from Enterprise. And, we take for granted what a great kick returner, though. But, Mike, he made a catch this year, interception.
He broke his collarbone when he made it, jumped up and made the interception.
He turned completely vertical and came down on his head. And I tell you, is a great player. He'll play in the pros one day, no question.
I don't know if he'll play in the pros. He's so short, but he might.
Well, hey, let me tell you something. When you can run today like he can, he'll make it in the pros.
The biggest thing about him, though, is, to me, was his maturity. Though, I mean, he was a really, team leader. You always read him a lot in the local articles and stuff like that. But the one thing with him that was strange, though, Neil Brown was real. I guess, real worried about getting him hurt, playing him back on defense. So when he came back Troy late in the season, they played him on offense.
They sure did.
I don't know if that was something that, rubbed him the wrong way, not being able to go back and play defense. And
I think it's more.
I know Dunlap had come in, the kid out of Maplesville, and played lights out. But, I don't know if that was just not to get him injured or what, but, he got hit several times in the bowl game and almost got decapitated one time. It's crazy when Troy played Buffalo in that bowl game. That Tyree Jackson, I don't know if I already mentioned that. A lot of people thought he was going to be a fourth-round pick, and he came out his junior year. Some people thought he was going to transfer, but he ended up going through the draft. That kid never even got drafted. Some of these kids just get horrible advice. Now this kid is probably going to have to be a free agent or play in Canada or something.
That kid from Buffalo, is that right?
Yeah, he never even got drafted. Came out his junior year, didn't even get drafted.
And he was running back for them, is that right?
No, he was the 6'7" quarterback.
Oh, the quarterback. Yeah, what am I thinking about? Yeah, what happened to him? I thought he really he looked good to me.
Yeah, he had a strong arm. He was a project, but he looked like a guy that was going to get, better and at least be on a roster.
Yeah. Want to mention Troy Health and Rehab on the Elba Enterprise Highway. Want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, to be out at 1 o'clock today. The Troy Regional Medical Center celebrates its 50th year, Mike, of Troy Regional Medical Center, and we're excited about that. And there's a big ceremony today starting at 1 o'clock, and it's going to be the 50th anniversary celebration of Troy Regional Medical Center, and of course it's today. June the 26th at 1 o'clock, Troy Regional Medical Center on Highway 231 South. There's going to be a reception, and there's going to be a lot of fun today starting at 1 o'clock as we celebrate 50 years at Troy Regional Medical Center, one of the fine local hospitals in Alabama. And, of course, we can feel awfully proud to know that we've got Troy Regional Medical Center as our hospital right here in Troy, Alabama. And you won't find a bigger, better hospital for a small town anywhere than you'll find right here in Troy with Troy Regional Medical Center. And that'll be starting today at 1 o'clock. And it'll be a great opportunity to go out and enjoy the festivities and the fun. And as we celebrate 50 years at Troy Regional Medical Center, and we appreciate them very much. Mike, they released the top 10 linemen in college football, and they've got Jedrick Willis Jr. from Alabama. Is he the real deal?
Yeah, he was until the Clemson game and the Oklahoma game where he had all those false starts.
Yeah, that's right. He really did. He hurt him bad.
He's a real athletic guy, real mean is what they say. He's a guy that will definitely block you to the end of the whistle. So I'm not surprised by that.
But like you said, I think that they could draw him offside anytime they wanted to. You know what I mean?
I was looking at AL.com. They're doing the Mount Rushmore of Alabama high school football. So this is the greatest players from from the 4 regions of the state of Alabama, the coastal Mobile area, the central Montgomery, Auburn, Wiregrass, the Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, North Alabama areas. They're mentioning names like Ozzie Newsome, Cadillac Williams, David Palmer, Kerryon Johnson, Ozzie Newsome, Jeff Rutledge, Steve Christopher that played in Anniston, Walker's Lenny Patrick. So it's the Mount Rushmore. They're doing a poll.
How about Johnny Musso, Michael?
Where players ever to play high school football in Alabama? Of course, there was a kid from Brundage that was pretty good.
Sure was. No question. Steve Coleman, you're right. He should be mentioned. How about Johnny Musso, the Italian stallion?
Musso was mentioned.
Musso, that was a great team he played for, too, back in those days. And, of course, they still talk about the game between Woodlawn and...
So your Mount Rushmore for just Pike County, who would it be? Stephen Coleman, Kincaid Pennington,
Bobby
Cornelius
Marlowe.
Griffin.
You'd have to put Bobby Marlowe up there. You'd have to.
Oh, yeah, Bobby Marlowe, yeah.
And, of course, Ronaldo, Kincaid Pennington, and then our guy from Brundage, Mike.
I mean, Brundage, you could go Fred Holland.
Yeah, but Holland wasn't running back. It was just as a player.
Sorry, not Fred Holland. Oh, God, who was the tight end that was played in the pros for so many years? Drawing a blank right now, but
yeah, he was good.
I'll think of his name, but I mean, there's so many great players out of Pike County. The Nixon kid was a great player. Quincy Jackson was a great player.
You're right. Marlowe would be one, and then of course.
Sorry, Fred Baxter.
Yeah, Fred Baxter. Yeah, he was a great one, and you'd have to put him somewhere. I tell you right now, you're gonna laugh when I say that. Well, you're not gonna laugh. One of the best quarterbacks that ever come through here is Austin Ingram. He's the best quarterback I think I've seen come through here. As a high school player.
Yeah, but you put Nixon ahead of him. He was a 3-year starter at Vanderbilt.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. You could put Nixon there. You could put Ronaldo, Kincaid Pennington, and Bobby Marlowe, and then our guy from Brundage, the great touchdown man, Stephen Coleman. Those would be 4 pretty good ones right there.
I mean, let's be honest. You could probably
Cornelius was pretty good. Cornelius Griffin was pretty good. You
could probably make a Mount Rushmore just for Pike County.
Yeah, that's right. But that's interesting.
I mean, all said and done in the state of Alabama, I mean, David Palmer, I would have to say, is the greatest player I've ever seen out of the state of Alabama that I saw. I mean, he was just phenomenal.
Yeah, he was really good.
I mean, when they moved him to quarterback when Barker got hurt, I mean, that was just incredible to watch him. I mean, he wasn't a thrower by any means, but just as an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the way he could catch the ball as well. I mean, he was phenomenal.
Yeah. As a high school player, you're right. No question.
John Hanna, I think John Hanna Prep.
Yeah, he went to Baylor. He went to Baylor Prep.
He went out of Chattanooga, didn't he?
Yeah, he went. Baylor Prep. Not Macaulay, but Baylor, the other one.
Now, I didn't get to see Rutledge play, but I know he was a great player.
Rutledge was a great one, and of course, what was the name of that school there in Birmingham? Banks High School, and that was a great high school. Rutledge and Musso was a little bit older than but they were real.
I mean, Tony Nathan could be on the list. I mean, there was a lot of great players.
Tony Nathan played at Woodlawn High School and was a great player. And you're right. And a few of those good boys were pretty good too until they got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, that's why this is so tough. I mean, I think it's only going back to 1968.
Yeah. You're right. It'd be hard to pick them.
Then you leave out Leroy.
Yeah. Well, Leroy played out of Exdale, Alabama. Just as a country boy, but you're talking about these.
Montgomery had a lot of great players too. That Fred Beasley, the running back that played at Auburn, then played in the pros for several years, was a great high school player.
You were talking about Fred Beasley. We're talking about Beasley that played at Auburn.
No, but we're talking about the greatest high school players from schools in Alabama.
Yeah, you're right. Beasley was pretty good at Robert E. Lee High School.
I mean, he was a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, no question about it. And you could argue the point.
68. I mean, I guess you could put Mike DeBose. He played after 68, didn't he?
Mike DeBose played, you're right.
He is one of the greatest high school players you saw.
Gosh, he's a great high school linebacker, Mike DeBose, out of Opp. And he was a great one, no question about it. And he would go down as one of the top high school players ever, and no question about it.
So that survey is on AL.com if anybody wants to go and pick their favorite high school player ever to come out of the state of Alabama.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. It would be something, and there's been some great ones come through here. You know.
I forgot to mention probably one of the greatest of all time too is Julio Jones out of Foley.
Yeah, Julio was pretty good. Yeah, he was good, and you know, you
And
just.
the way they ought to do this, they ought to do it from each region. You know, a group out of Mobile, a group out of the Wiregrass, a group out of Montgomery, a group out of North Alabama, a group out of Birmingham.
Yeah. You know, Kenny Stabler, of course, was a great high school player too, and.
Yeah, did Stabler graduate after 68 though?
He graduated in high school probably 66, 65, something like that.
No, he was before that because he was in school with my mother-in-law, so he had to graduate high school around 62.
That's right. He probably, he graduated about 62, 63, something like that. You know, they said that he would have been a great pitcher in baseball. They said he threw the ball 90 miles an hour. He's left-handed, and all the pros wanted him to play baseball. You know, he would have been a great pitcher, you know.
You know, I was watching that last night. That's the difference in these bigger college programs, like, you know, in the College World Series compared to schools like Troy. I mean, all their relievers that come in these games, the College World Series, are throwing 94, 95. You know, that's really throwing hard for a college player. Most of the college kids, or most of the high school kids that throw that hard, they get drafted before they even go to college.
Exactly. They've got all of the Montgomery Advertiser's got all the schedules for games this fall. Every college team in Alabama, and I was wanting to say, of course, UAB plays on the 29th against Alabama State. I would want to see which ones play early. South Alabama plays Nebraska on the 31st. Jacksonville State plays Southeast Louisiana on a Thursday night on the 29th. Troy, of course, plays Campbell on the 31st. I was looking for some earlier games. On the 31st, Faulkner opens their season under a new head coach, good friend of mine, Mike.
Yeah, you got Tommy Wasden now, the head coach.
That's right, Tommy Wasden, Shane's brother, is the coach at Faulkner, and we wish him a lot of luck.
Was already on the staff with Shane. I guess Shane got back into football after he retired and realized he liked being retired more.
I saw him at the beach the other day, and he looks great. He's one of my all-time favorite coaches at Troy. He was a great guy. And
what did he say? He just said he just enjoyed retirement too much?
Yeah, but, you know, I think he enjoyed college coaching. And
well, that is college. It's just like Division 3 or 4.
I know it, and I think he misses Troy. I wish they'd hire him back. He's a heck of a coach, and he was a great guy. And of course, you know, that family, the Wasden family, one of the best football families in the country. You know, his dad was a great high school player at Auburn and great high school coach growing up. And I think he went to Greenville High School years ago. And then, of course, those boys were great high school and college quarterbacks. And Shane, of course, was a wide receiver at Auburn, and man, he could fly. He had great speed. But football is just around the corner. What's your time frame now? You usually keep up with it. What is your time frame for the opening of football season?
Let me hit a few buttons real quick, and I'll tell you.
After a few buttons, we're going to tell you to the second.
No, it is fun to go on Troy's site, and you can see this.
It's on Troy's site.
TroyTrojans.com. So we've got officially, let's see, my computer's acting a little slow. 66 days, 9 hours, 13 minutes, and 18 seconds.
Oh, boy. Let me write that down. 66 days.
9 hours, 13 minutes, and now 10 seconds.
Now 10 seconds. With the start of is that college football?
Yeah. Well, that's Troy's game against Campbell.
Yeah, Troy's game against Campbell.
You got to think there's a game with Florida and Miami on the 25th.
That's
so
right.
We're actually under 60 days for actually college football.
Yeah, that's right. No question about it. We're excited about it. We got Brent Jones coming in just a few moments.
I can only imagine how hot it's going to be for Miami, Florida on August 25th.
Well, I tell you,
I put the over/under on the high that day of probably 95.
No question about it, and it's going to be awfully hot. And but that's, these kids are acclimated though. They're practicing right now. They'll be out there today.
They wear that 25-pound helmet. You got to have some strength.
That's right. That's right. You remember. We used to do it so much, neck bridges, you would, they go back on the neck, with the helmets, they go back on the neck and then front of the neck. They don't even do that anymore. You turn it over, they tell you to turn it over and all that. But now, because the helmets weigh so much, they don't think they need to do those kind of exercises because the helmet's going to make their neck strong.
Yeah, it looks like Troy's getting a few more commitments to recruiting, so this has been fun to keep up with. Several guys committing to 2020. This is a new thing as a Troy fan, and something that's exciting. Recruiting. Usually we didn't hear about the guys until they signed on the dotted line, but now you're hearing of all these commitments beforehand, before the next season. So that's kind of fun to keep up with.
Who are some of them? Do you know?
Well, it's hard because they're on Twitter, and it's just like little things on TroyChargers.com. But it looks like we got a running back out of, Northcutt Stadium in Marietta.
Yeah,
I guess Georgia. A guy named Kamani Badell. So looks like he's committed to Troy to play running back.
Well, that's great. He's a big kid, or does it give any dimensions?
I'm trying to pull up some information on him. He's a little guy, 5'7", 205, so he must be just all muscle.
But boy, that is a tank now, 5'7", 205. Now that's a pretty big kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So he's a three-star running back, though, out of Marietta, Georgia. That's pretty good.
That's right. No question about it. Of course, all these camps going on, a lot of these teams pick up these players. Alabama and Auburn go ahead and get their commitments early because of these camps and so forth. And the first day, signing day, is in December, though, isn't it? Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Before they can actually sign on a dotted line. And I thought that early signing program that Troy had last year, they went ahead and locked up all these good players, really helped them a lot, don't you think?
This kid's the 66th best running back in America. He's a three-star.
Well, how many high schools are in America? Probably 40,000, and he's 66. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll take him. And I bet he'll be
good. He attended junior day at Mississippi State. He went to junior day at UK, Kentucky, Georgia Tech. So, this guy was getting looked at by some big schools.
Yes, sir. No question about it. Mike, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Hey folks, are you tired of spending hard-earned money on a gas grill only to have it burn up in less than 2 years? Not to mention burning your food. Here at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, we carry the Holland Grill line. They've been around since 1988, and there are people right here in Troy that have had theirs for over 20 years. These grills are guaranteed not to flare up. You can grill, steam, or smoke on your new Holland Grill today. Come see us at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, inside Town & Country Touring Center.
Are you a driver trainee just finishing school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Right, Fuzzy? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the kennel for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and with us, and congratulations to my very good friend Brent Jones, who is the new AD, athletic director at Troy University. And man, you hit the ground running, but you were running way before then, wasn't you?
Yeah, it's been exciting. 2.5 years here as the deputy AD, and then to ascend into the director of AD role is it's quite humbling. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. I'll have to tell you this. As you know, Jeremy McClain left this in a great situation. That's part of the reason that I was able to ascend to this. We have tons of momentum. We have tons of trajectory. Over the last 3 years, we've had 9 teams compete in NCAA postseason appearances. During a Division I period, that's the most we've ever had in a 3-year period. We've set attendance records, we've set ticket sales records, fundraising, licensing, GPA, APR, community service, community involvement. And so while Troy University, I'm not an alum of Troy University, this is my university. Troy is my hometown, and so I'm excited to be here and my kids to grow up here. So we're hitting the ground running.
Well, I tell you, and so many things already, and of course, you heard that word licensing, and of course, we're talking about Troy products. And other day, I was at an event where I saw some new, good-looking apparel, that really looked like major college apparel. Yes. And I think you're making a big change there, the way we look.
And I appreciate that. So, and that's something that as soon as I got here, you and I talked about, and that's near and dear to your heart, as well as the Chancellor, as well as Jeremy's. And so we've partnered with Southern Collegiate Apparel out of Tuscaloosa. They're the #1 provider for Auburn and Alabama that's not the sideline gear. And so because of that, that's allowed us.
Charleston, South Carolina.
That's great.
All the way from Charleston, South Carolina.
I totally forgot. It's your birthday. Happy 72nd.
Yeah.
Well, man, we want you to have a wonderful birthday.
Well, I do appreciate it. I was asked where I wanted to eat. I said, well, there's a lot of good places I like to eat. But I got Brent Jones, the new athletic director at Troy, and he's spent a little time over in Georgia over the years. Isn't that right, Brent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Georgia Southern?
Yeah, at Georgia Southern, as well as enjoyed the Hilton Head and Charleston area a lot.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, thank you so much for calling, brother, and I'll be talking to y'all later on today here.
Okay, you take care and have a good day.
All right, thank you so much. And I tell you what, I love you too. If just to get him up early like that was.
I didn't know it was your birthday.
Yeah, well, I hadn't thought about it.
I totally forgot all about it myself. June 26th.
And of course, that was a day that was very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
A real Trojan was born 72 years ago.
Yeah, maybe so.
Now, where were you born?
Troy. Well, Beard Hospital right here in Troy, and of course that was in 1947, a long time ago.
Well, my next door neighbor is one of your good friends, Mr. Joe Boutwell.
Yeah,
I think that's known you all the way through. So
that's
yes.
right. He is a good friend and a great Trojan, and of course, he was born and raised in Spring Hill, Alabama. And they had a big store there, and he sat around selling corn on the cob.
Absolutely.
But a great
Brandon,
store.
congratulations on the AD job, and I know you were a part of a lot of these coaching searches and coaching hires. I mean, Troy's got new football coach and Chip Lindsey, and then a new basketball coach and Scott Frost. I know that's one of those things where you definitely were a part of those hires as well. So tell us everybody about your excitement as far as the football program and the basketball program. programs.
It's really off the charts, and to be quite honest, it's almost unprecedented in Division I to have a new football coach, new basketball coach, and new AD within a 6-month period of time. And so I was very fortunate. I've known Chip for almost 6 years, 7 years now. Worked with him for 2 years at Southern Miss, and just sort of for people to realize what he did as the offensive coordinator there. And he led a top 5 offense. He had a quarterback that threw, Nick Mullins, who's from Alabama, Spain Park, threw for 4,000 yards. He had 2 receivers that caught the ball for over 1,000 and 2 running backs that for over 1,000. So there are 4 of those 5 guys I just mentioned are still in the NFL. He's the last G5 offense to be that good, a top 5 in the nation. And so you want to look at it. He's gone on, had a lot of success at Arizona State, as well as Auburn, and then being able to come here. Chip is a great coach. He's a good friend of Neil as well. And so he replaced Neil the first time. When Neil left and went to go be the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech, he came in, was the offensive, he was the quarterback's coach. And so Chip is an Alabama guy. He's from the state. Went to school here, was a high school coach, was an AD, has great ties. I talked to him last night. I can't talk about actually recruits, but we have 14 signees already, 6 months looking out.
We were talking about that before you came on today, that on Troy University, TroyTrojan.com, Mike?
Yeah, it's just Twitter. They announce
yes.
guys that are committed, so you're able to go and see the guys for
and he has
2020 class, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, he's got 14 already. I talked to him last night.
That's
excited about that.
Anybody else we've had.
And so, and Chip wants to be here. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, I like that too.
And he's not afraid. We've talked to him numerous times about scheduling, and he's not afraid of the scheduling that we want to do and have and really go out there and be aggressive. But then you talk about Coach Cross, and probably the best compliment I can give is when our fans were introduced to Coach Cross and we gave him his pedigree, his resume, and everything that made him so successful, to a man, they said, we didn't think we could get him.
Yeah.
And I said, well, expectations have been raised now. And so you see that what's happened with Neil. You see that's what happens with Chip. You see what Shanda Rigby, who has a great style of basketball, last 3 out of 4 years, has made it to postseason play. But Coach Cross, just so if everybody doesn't know, has been a head coach for 12 years. He's only 44 years old. Yeah. He's all-time winningest coach at UTA. He's had a player drafted in the NBA who's currently in the NBA. He's averaged 19 wins per season, 5 postseason appearances, 4 Coaches of the Year awards. And, oh, by the way, the year that he was let go at UTA, he won 23 games.
Isn't that unbelievable? If only, and the guy's only answer to that said, why do you do this? They said, I just wanted my guy.
Yeah. And so
a favor to somebody else.
And so we're very excited to have Coach Cross. He's developed our kind of guy, OKG, take the stairs approach. And so I will tell you this, I think and the take the stairs approach is, it's just no shortcuts, and so he's not from Alabama, he's from Texas, but he's our kind of guy, and I think our fans are really going to rally around him.
Got a great family,
Yeah, I would hate to be in a big city with him, having to take the stairs everywhere.
Well, he told us about a time that he went to Maui for the Maui Invitational, and that's how good his UTA team was. They don't just invite anybody, and to be a G5, to be able to go out there, he was on the 17th floor, and he took the stairs every single day with his family, if that tells you something.
and of course, he's talking about, take the stairs and not be lazy, take the stairs.
Mm-hmm. So I think our football is, this is our best home schedule that we've had that I can recall. And going back, now we don't have a home P5. We do have a home P5 next year as part of it, but we don't have it this year. But if you look at it, we open up at home versus Campbell, so our home opener. Then we take off a week. It's a bye week, which it's a little unusual, but it's a 2-bye week this year, so we're okay with that. And then we host the Golden Eagles from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Which to me is a big-time program.
And it's a big rivalry, and we've actually signed them for a four game agreement series.
Wonderful.
Yes, so we have them. We're working on a few others, and so, we like the regional ones, the UABs, the La Techs, the ones that we can travel, the MTSUs, the Western Kentuckys, trying to get those. But, we have at home Southern Miss. And then if you look at, and Mike, I know you know this, but if you look at who's won the Sun Belt Conference in football the last 10 years, there's been 4 schools. That's us, that's App State, that's Georgia Southern, that's Arkansas State. Oh, by the way, we host App State at home, we host Arkansas State at home, we host Georgia Southern at home, and then we have our rivals from the West part of Alabama and South Alabama coming over here. And so our home schedule is pretty stacked. Our season tickets, our tickets are flying off.
You and Jeremy have a steak dinner on the Troy Southern Miss game this year?
I hope we got a lot more on it, okay? Because I feel good. So, but no, I worked at Southern Miss for 6 years. I know Coach Hobson. I know that program well. Again, I'm forever indebted to what Jeremy and the chancellor here. There's a lot of people when they take over an athletic department that have to make strategic changes, have to make different initiatives. They really have to go in and find themselves. And being here the last 2.5 years and having a lot of success, and going out and meeting a lot of people, I'm excited about. We have one of the hardest working staffs. We want to have one of the best coaching staffs in America. Great student athletes. But I'll tell you this: the mission, the vision is set. The mission is out there, and that is we're going to compete for conference championships. I want us to be in top 4 in every single sport that we play, and our goal is to win the Bubas Cup. And so our coaches know that, and we're meeting with them now to talk about those.
And that
you mentioned UAB, and I lived in Birmingham for 16 years. I live in Grayton Beach now, but I love the city of Birmingham, and of course UAB's football has been great the last couple of years. But I know Troy fans love that series. I hope that we can start playing them again in football soon.
And that's the hope for us. I think that's the hope for them. Mark Ingram, I know a little bit. I know Bryant Carter, who actually does their football scheduling a little bit better. Chip we have great respect for UAB. It makes a lot of sense to play them. But I'll tell you this: both schools are trying to find it, but at the same time, scheduling. I'm working with Army right now on games that are 10 years out right now, and so it's you have to think about that. But that is something that's paramount for us to be able to get regional games such as Southern Miss, such as UAB, such as La Tech, such as MTSU in Western Kentucky, where people can drive to. We have a P5.
I'm excited about Memphis.
So we have home and home with Memphis, home and home with Army, home and home with Mississippi State. We go to Tennessee. We host NC State. So you want to talk about a fan, and because of that, we're up almost 1,000 season tickets at this time, with 1,000 of those being new. We're expecting a rowdy vet this year, and we're excited about it.
Boy, it's going to be fun. Now, as we speak, there's a new carpet being laid out. Is that right?
Yes. So we will make that announcement today. But we have a new, that was announced at my press conference.
Okay.
So this is breaking news. I think everyone's somewhat known about it.
I love it.
But we will announce today that we are unveiling. We'll have the design there as well. We'll have new turf for the next 8 to 10 years at the vet, and it's going to look good. All right,
and this is just a personal thing. A red end zone.
You'll be happy, Mike.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
You'll be happy, Mike.
How many times did I tell how much I miss that red end zone? Is that true?
You'll be happy, Mike.
Whoa, glory. And it was nothing wrong with the other field at all, but we had that. I like that red end zone, and ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to get it. Is that right?
Yep.
That was something that the AD, he and I had talked about it before. And
I think we used to have it, and then it got pink. Well, the technology's evolved over time that it's not going to fade. So we're going to have Troy on one side in the end zone. We'll have Trojans in the other.
Wonderful.
In the middle of in the middle of the field, we're going to have the big power T.
Oh,
and
good.
So everybody knows that by
that looked great.
And so then we'll have the Sun Belt Conference logos, and then we'll also continue, obviously, with what our field is named, Veteran Memorial Stadium, Larry Blakeney Field, which is important. And then we've added a few little nuances that people will see, that you'll see. The color palette changes, so every five yards, it's light, dark. It's just really dynamic looking. So when you're on TV, people are going to know where it is.
I like that.
We added a few other little personal touches to make it Troy University special.
Now I'm interested on cost. What's the cost of a new field?
It's about $500,000 is what it is. We were able to get it for a little bit less than other schools because of our drainage system. And I'll give you an example. Right now, Southern Miss is going through a baseball renovation, or they're trying to, from a turf standpoint, and it's about 1.2, 1.3 for them.
They're going turf.
They're going turf as well. They've seen what we've done. They've seen what La Tech has done, and a few other schools. But there's a lot of work underneath that costs money. We don't have that. So for $500,000 for a safety standpoint, student athlete welfare, it makes a lot of sense for us to be able to do it.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I am tickled. And of course, it's just something that adds color and pageantry to the stadium, and that's going to be wonderful, and I'm excited about it. And of course, the Sun
Belt also has a new commissioner that they brought in, replacing Carl Benson. What's your relationship with him so far?
So we spoke on the phone once. We've exchanged text messages. I know Keith Gill. I've heard him speak when he was the AD, Director of Athletics at Richmond University. Very, very well thought of, well known. And so I think right now he's getting a feel. He'll be coming on campus in about a month or so. He's going to meet with every single university, Sun Belt Conference affiliate, I should say, before the football season starts. So we're excited. Carl Benson was a great friend of Troy University.
He loved Troy, didn't he?
And he really did. And so we want to make sure that Keith understands how important Troy University is to the Sun Belt and the Sun Belt is to Troy.
No question about it. We've got the new athletic director, Brent Jones, on our show. And, of course, 4 years ago, how long have you been here now?
2.5.
All right, 2.5 years ago, if I would have said, Brent, you're going to be the next AD at Troy, what would you have said?
It's a dream come true.
And of course, like I've always said during this whole time, and people have heard me mention this on the show, is he's one of us. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean by one of us, trying to be the best you can be at the level we're at.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we want to be. We want to compete for conference championships across the board. We want to do it right. We want to be a top 5 G5 program. We want to set attendance records, ticket sales. And right now, I think we have all the coaches we need. We just got to keep moving forward.
Mike, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to catch you. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Good morning, Mike. I just wanted to say congratulations to our new AD.
That's my good friend, Faith Ward, our Executive Director of Alumni Relations.
That's
here.
Right.
Thank you, Faith.
And we already noticed that you're working with all elements of the university to make us all great.
Yes, and so I will tell you this, the second day on my job, so I was announced 2 weeks ago today, and then Thursday I was in the office, and on Friday I spent essentially all day with Faith. We went to Greenville for the Trojan Tour, and then was able to be part of a really, really nice retreat dinner for the National Alumni Board that Faith had me as her guest. And so, Faith, I appreciate your friendship, your support, and what you do for the university.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to say in front of all these TV viewers that we're so proud to have you as our athletic director, and we just couldn't be happier with the situation. So we know you're going to do great things, and I wanted to say good morning, and y'all have a great day.
Thank you so much, Faith.
Thank you for calling, Faith. I appreciate it very much. And, of course,
all right.
Thank you. See you later. I want to mention, Mike, you back on? Hello. All right, Mike Amos back on. He might have dropped off.
I think I got a call coming in.
He'll call back. He'll call back. We got another call coming in there.
Jeremy Henderson, you're on live today in L.A.
How you doing, Brent?
Pretty good. I'm here with Mike Amos. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Wow.
You watching the show?
I am not watching the show. I was just calling you.
Well, good. You got any questions for us?
I do not have any questions.
Of course, Jeremy, we're quite familiar with the insurance company that you represent.
Yes, and I will tell you this, Jeremy is actually a season ticket holder. We're excited to have him come on board for football and basketball, and he's a great supporter and contributor to our community as well.
No question about it.
Glad to be a season ticket holder for football and basketball, and excited about the things Brent Jones is going to continue to do at Troy.
Well, absolutely. We got a great staff and great fan support, and you're part of it, so I appreciate it, Jeremy. I'll give you a call later, okay?
Sounds great. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you so much. And, of course, Jeremy represents one of our fine sponsors, and we appreciate all of them so much. Our guest, ladies and gentlemen, is Brent Jones, the new head our AD at Troy, athletic director. And, of course, if you'd like to call in, our number's on the bottom left of your screen. Your wife and your family, it just seems like Troy has been a perfect fit for you. I watch you at baseball games, and I watch her at baseball games. She mills around and gets to know the
probably even better than me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm sure when they were looking at you as a candidate was that you bring a whole package with you, your family.
Well, I'll tell you this, our family is very blessed to be here. This is the best community that I've lived in. So if people don't know that I've worked at, I played college baseball, and then I worked at Ole Miss, University of Mississippi, Georgia Southern, Southern Miss, and now Troy. And this is the best place we've ever lived. This is the only place we've ever bought a house. We're indebted to Troy. Our kids are Jackson just turned 6 on Monday. Jackson's 6. Peyton is 4. Peyton is our princess. Her last 2 birthday parties had been at Riddle Pace Field and Trojan Arena. Jackson's been to almost 50 football games.
That's awesome.
And so, he's excited about it. And so that's what my work is, their world, and when they love it. And so to be able to play, it really dawned on me this past year. Chase Smart, who is our All-American, was our All-American catcher, who is the son of Mark Smart. And so I'm down there before the game, and Jackson's with me, my son, and he's throwing catch with Chase. And I'm talking to his father, Mark Smart, and it's just to see that. You don't get that everywhere.
No.
And so that's what's special about Troy, the community, and Tracy is all in, and she's the better half of me for sure. And, she really raises our babies and allows me to do what I need to do.
Well, I'll tell you something else you got is a great mom and daddy, and that has a lot to do with them. And they've also been strong supporters of yours.
Yes.
And, all the way through growing up in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
You're a big city boy, is that right?
Well, so I'm from Stone Mountain. Everybody says I'm from Atlanta, and then you go, where are you from? And I'm from Stone Mountain, but from playing East Cobb baseball to high school baseball to college and to see them. And
a lot of people don't know this, that you played at a very good program, Oglethorpe University there in Atlanta.
Yes, and so that really taught me, it really combined what we're doing here at Troy, great academics and great athletics at the same time.
And another thing, too, that I like about your hire is that you knew about, you were with Georgia Southern, you played college in the Atlanta area, which is a big recruiting area for Troy, and now, and and I've said this so many times, Troy's not going to ever be, I don't think, an Alabama and Auburn. Now, I'm not saying that we won't be as good as they are on the playing field, but, we're not going to ever have a 100,000 seat stadium, I don't think. But what we do have is very equivalent to what Southern Mississippi has done and built. Nobody wanted to play Southern Miss for a long time. Because Alabama, Auburn, they were beating them all. And of course, they had a guy named Favre as a quarterback. But what I'm saying, the program, and it's in Hattiesburg's a little bit bigger town than Troy, but I think Troy, the size town, just sort of blends with our program. And I think it gives players and fans saying, hey, we're going to go to your place and beat you, and you're going to come to our place, and we're going to beat you again.
And, Troy University, we've taken the attitude and the mantra of Troy University. And so, Troy has so many special things, the city, the community, the university, the athletic department. And I feel honored to be part of this. You've been here a long time. You've seen a lot of things come through.
That's right.
I actually was up on Monday with your good friend, Johnny Williams.
Yeah, he's a very good
friend. And Pete Durgis from ESPN. And just to see, how great people were so excited. It was up there for the Camellia Bowl luncheon, and so I went up there just to represent Troy University and just to hear people talk about Troy University and Montgomery and how much we're getting out there. And so it's exciting. It really is.
No question about it. And of course, the way things have worked out with our conference and the Sun Belt, and now to have, 5 tie-ins to a bowl game?
5 tie-ins. We have, let's see if I can name them off. We have the Mobile Bowl, used to be the Dollar General Bowl, Mobile Bowl, Camellia Bowl, in Montgomery, the Cure Bowl, in Orlando, the New Orleans Bowl, in New Orleans, and then we have the Arizona Bowl out there. I think in the next few years there's going to be some reshuffling, and we're still going to keep 5. But it might open up some opportunities in Charleston, as well as, and I think the conference has released that Charleston or Myrtle Beach area, which would be even better.
That's right. Yeah,
I know you would like that area as well.
You're right. Yeah. It's a long ways, though, I tell you.
Yeah, yes, it is. But it's a lot closer than Arizona.
Exactly.
Yes.
And, of course, something that I like so much about you as a candidate for this job was your ability to schedule. And that is the real key like I'm saying, everybody don't want to play Troy because they're afraid they're going to get beat. I mean, really, Southern Miss went through that a long time. Is that right?
Yes.
And, of course, now we have a great conference schedule of competitive teams. We have 5 outlets right now to go to a bowl game, which is
and every game can be on TV with ESPN
That's
Plus.
right.
If you have a cell phone, you're able to watch it anytime. We play Missouri this upcoming year. Next year, we host NC State. It's an exciting time. It really is, Mike. And I will tell you this: I appreciate your support, what you've done for this program, as well as this community.
Well, I tell you what, I love it, and that's why we have a show like this, is because we want to promote Troy and all the great things, and we're off running, and of course with Brent Jones being our head guy, we're in great shape now. You were able to keep, it's like a lot of people say, they hope you can keep your sidekick. And tell us about him.
I think you're meaning Kyle George. Is that correct? Kyle and I have worked together for 8 years. I think he's the best marketer in college athletics. And so he actually is homegrown talent. He's from Hoover High School, went to Sanford undergrad, and then I met him when he was a graduate assistant. He's been a graduate assistant, assistant director of marketing, director, assistant AD, associate AD, and then we made the move together when Jeremy brought us over. The vision was simple. We needed to grow our brand. We needed to grow our resources, grow attendance, and really build out some external things. He's staying. We're excited about that, and I'm excited to be able to work with Kyle, Sandy, Tony, Mike, Becky, Adam, all the way through. We have a great staff, and so hit the ground running, and we're almost 60 days away from football season starting.
In fact, Mike came up with it this morning, 66 days, 9 hours and 13 seconds when we started this show. And you can go to TroyTrojans.com and pick that up this morning. And, of course, a great home schedule, which, for your season tickets. Let me just say something about season tickets right now. Troy has a package for $60 a year. That's season tickets. Well, let me tell you, you'll pay $75 to $100 to go to a lot of any game in the SEC or whatever. We've got a great product for you and your family to enjoy for just $60. Now that is that's non-reserved seating, but that is a great package.
That is, and so we made it low. We want to keep it family friendly because we realize people might be bringing 3, 4, 5 at a time. But you look at the success we've had. We've had 31 wins over the last 3 years.
That's right.
Our ticket prices have not increased, and we made that point whole. We led the conference in attendance last year for the first time in the history of the Sun Belt and Troy University football. We led the Sun Belt in attendance. Why is that so important? We're the 3rd smallest community in Division I.
That's
okay,
right.
We're the 2nd smallest town in Division I, and for us to be able to have Georgia State has, I believe, either 54 or 45,000 students, and we have 9,000 students on campus, 16,000 around. For us to be able to do that, we're Trojans, and our fans unite. They rally together, and we're so excited. They're galvanized, and the mission is simple. We got to continue to keep that going, and winning helps, but putting a good product out there does as well.
And putting together a schedule like this is one of the best packages as far as quality football that I've seen in Troy, maybe ever. And, of course, 6 home games makes it fun. And, what I say about this, the bowl games, there's only 2 teams that can go all the way to the top,
right?
And play the extra game. That would be like Alabama and Clemson playing for the national championship. The other guys are rewarded by being able to go to a bowl game. So what I'm saying, we've got 5 opportunities to go to a bowl game, and our fans love the bowl games. And that's something that can happen every year if we put a good product on the field.
And we've done that the last 3 years, being able to go to bowl games back to back years. That's the goal every single year is to be bowl eligible. The Sun Belt has never been higher with 5 bowl tie-ins It's really exciting. All those are on ESPN as well. And so we have a challenging schedule. We want to challenge ourselves every year. But bowl games are a reward. They're not just a reward for our fans, but for our student athletes. You get an extra 2, 3, 4 weeks of practice that really develops that freshman class, the red shirts, the sophomores, the backups. And you really see it catapult into the spring.
Yeah. You know, and of course, you know, again, we're comparing ourselves a little bit with Southern Miss, and their program to me is outstanding. They have a great marching band. Troy is very, very, very close to being as good or better than Southern Miss's program. Why do
Well, I will tell you this. If you look at the conference schedule or the conference rankings, and the American is the group of five, you have the American, you have the MAC, you have the Mountain West, you have the Sun Belt, you have Conference USA. We have outperformed Conference USA over the last 3 years. And so, and that says a lot about our conference. That says a lot about Troy, what Neil has done, what Jeremy did. But I will tell you this, Troy football, Troy University, and Troy athletics will take a back seat to nobody. Yeah. And so that's why you get out there and compete. Doesn't matter, you know, where you came from, how big of a budget you had. You go back and look at what we've been able to do over the last 3 years. Our football program has beat LSU, has almost beat Clemson, if not for a bad call.
That's right.
Beat Nebraska. Our baseball program has beat Alabama, beat Auburn, almost beat Mississippi State, beat Duke. You know, our women's basketball program beat Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And so you really look at these, what we've been able to do. It's exciting. Yeah. And so we have a great group of people here, and you know, the future is very bright for us.
Of course, a new rug going up in the stadium, and our stadium is the mid-level of college football. It's no better stadium than ours.
And it has it has the largest video board in the group of five for an on-campus stadium, and that tells you something. That north end zone is spectacular. I know you've had a chance to walk through that. I know you've had a chance to meet Chip. Tell me, what do you think about Chip?
Oh man, I don't think we skip a beat.
Right.
I really don't. I think he and is very, very similar in nature to the guy we just had.
Yeah, Neil.
Neil, and of course, who did a great job. But if you wanted to match up with him, Chip would be a perfect example. Of they run very similar to the same offense. Their personalities are the same. The thing that I think Chip might have even over him was high school, been to relate to high school coaches, not only as a great recruiter at Auburn and as offensive coordinator there for the last 2 years, but you know, since high school days. You know, the people you got to sell is one, the parents, and then the other is the football coach.
No,
and
absolutely.
I think we have great rapport with high school coaches across the country that we're going to get good players, and evidently we're doing things recruiting right now that we haven't done ever. Like you said, 14 commitments already.
And you know, Neil really laid the groundwork and did a really good job, and Chip's really continued that. You know, Chip's background is high school. He was a high school coach twice in the state. 3 times actually was an AD, and then also at Laster High School in Atlanta was one as well. And so, you know, that's his background. He's a teacher by heart. He knows a lot of these people, and then working at Auburn twice, Southern Miss, Arizona State, Kansas. He gets this area. He's worked at Troy before.
Exactly.
He has a direct connection to Coach Larry Blakeney, who's an absolute legend. So we're excited.
Facility-wise, are there any things out there that we need to do? Right now, we look as good facility-wise as I've ever remembered.
We really do, and I think we're the cream of the crop for the Sun Belt Conference as well as for all the group of fives right now. We're building a needs wants report. We're going to build a master facilities plan to see if there's anything that we need to do. But I will tell you this, we're in great shape. Yeah. Just like I talked about the athletic department, just like I talked about the sports, our facilities, from what the university has been able to do, from what our fans have been able to do. I mean, it's top notch, from our golf to our soccer to baseball, football, basketball. I mean, you think about basketball, Trojan Arena, the 2 largest video boards in Division I is housed here in Troy, Alabama. And so it's exciting. And I'll tell you this, going back to what Shanta Rigby's done the last 3 out of 4 years, being postseason appearances. And we hosted the WNIT versus UAB this past year. It was single-handedly, I've been in college athletics 20 years now, that was the best college basketball game I've ever seen in person. I believe the score was 108 to 104, and we had the largest crowd ever for a women's basketball game on campus. It was outstanding, and so that's the expectation. We want to do that every game. That's the goal, and so we. It's really, really great when we have facilities.
The thing we've got to do is buy tickets and support these programs. I mean, we got all of this great programs, college football and college athletics, basketball and baseball. We've got some of the finest facilities in the country. We got as good a program as there is in the country. And now we need to sell tickets and buy tickets and support this program. This is a huge commodity as far as I'm concerned, and when it comes to your community and what you can do to make it better, and that would be to buy tickets and support Troy University Athletics.
And I couldn't say it any better, Mike. You nailed it. And there's numerous ways when you see Troy licensing, when you see Troy merchandise, buy it. When I want you to support our Trojan Warrior Fund. I want you to support Troy University. But buy tickets, become a donor of the university as well as the athletic department, and then buy merchandise and put it on the front of your car. Wear it wherever you go. But let people know that you're a Troy Trojan.
And hey, you're shopping at a store, one of them's on Highway 231 north of here, and you can't find a Troy hat, you say, I want a Troy hat. I don't want an Auburn hat. I want an Alabama hat. I want a Troy hat. And Sites and Con needs to buy Troy products and sell Troy products.
And I'll work with them. I know Danny well, and so.
Oh, yeah, great guy,
and so we'll get out there. And
I don't know anymore, Mike. Call them out.
I know this. We need Troy apparel at Sites and Con, and ladies and gentlemen, I think a lot of folks, especially the hats, we need to get Troy hats for sale at Sites and Con.
And I will. When I get back to the office momentarily, I will get Kyle George on that, as he said to Montgomery today.
And again, let me tell you another thing about you that I've said from the very beginning, ever since I've known you. You're accessible. You're there to answer questions. You're there to help someone, and that's your accessibility and the ability to be able to come by and walk in your office and talk about Troy athletics. That's what you bring to the table.
Well, you look at the position that we have. It's all about molding student athletes. It's about molding great citizens. And so I enjoy connecting with people. I enjoy talking with people. We have one of the best chancellors in all of higher education. We have one of the best coaching staffs. And so I feel like it's my job to really get out there and connect with people and let people know what we have going on. So I appreciate you, Mike. I appreciate you being a mouthpiece for our university and athletic department as well.
Well, I tell you what, we're excited. And, hey, if you're for Troy, you're for Troy University as far as I'm concerned. That's our team. And let me tell you, it means so much to our community to see Troy grow as far as student enrollment. Community is growing. More and more businesses are coming to Troy. And a lot of it has to do with being a town, like he said, the second largest, second smallest Division 1A program in the country right here as far as the town's representative. I think the other one's up in New York at West Point.
It's Army West Point's the other one. And so to be able to see, and Army West Point has great attendance just like we do. Yeah. This doesn't just happen. Our fans are galvanized. The community really supports us, and we appreciate that, and we always look forward to connecting with you.
Hope you've enjoyed our show, and this will be the first of many, many times he's going to come on and give us information from the AD's office, and that's the great thing about you, my friend.
Well, thank you.
You're a friend not only of mine, but you're a friend of them out there that love Troy athletics and love our community.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Have a great day. We'll see you. We'll be back on today at 1:30 if you missed this interview. But, of course, our good friend Brent Jones is the new AD at Troy, and welcome to Troy, Alabama, and your family. We hope you'll be here for years and years to come. We'll see you tomorrow.